Hello, my name is Christine. I am the owner of Pleiades Pure and Natural Skincare. And if you are watching this video, you purchased the bundle, which included this video, the recipe for our Christmas-inspired foaming body scrub, and you also got a bonus recipe. Okay. So I am going to, before we start making the product, I am going to start off with the ingredients that we will need. Okay. So for this formulation, we would need distilled water, vegetable glycerin, mango butter, stearic acid, emulsifying wax, sunflower oil, SCI, which is sodium Cocoyl Isethionate. That's what gives us the foaming inside the scrub. Coco Betaine, that's also a surfactant. That's a cleansing ingredient. And then some type of colorant. I use Mica. We'll be using Optiphen Plus, which is a preservative. Whatever fragrance that you choose, strawberry extract, cranberry seeds, and sugar. Okay, and I will list these obviously on the video if you're watching it, so that you will know exactly what I just said. And all of these items, all these ingredients are listed on the recipe card. Okay. You will also need some things to make these products. I have a beaker here. This would be for phase 1 or phase A. And then I have a little mixing bowl here. Heat safe. This would be for phase B and C. Right. Okay. So let's get started. So when you guys saw the video and the advertisement, this is what we made. This was our end product. Okay, this is one of my top sellers in stores, in our store. And I call this Berry Bliss Foaming Scrub, and it is beautiful. In fact, a lot of people buy it because the way it looks, but it also smells amazing. So this is what we'll be making this today. I may switch it up a little bit, change the color, change the scent, but I'll let you know when those things are happening and what I switched out, okay? Okay, guys, 2 things. One, I also added this bowl because we actually going to need 2 bowls, one for phase B, one for phase C, and then this would be for phase A. And if you're following along on your recipe card, then you'll know exactly what I mean. And then the second thing is that you will also need a hot plate or something like that so that you can heat these 2 phases. Okay, so we're gonna get through all of that, but you want to use heat safe bowls or beakers, and have your pots and double boilers ready so that you can heat your stuff up. Okay, all right, so the first thing we're going to do is the water phase. So I'm going to add I'm hoping you guys can see this a bit. So I'm going to put my beaker on here, and this is zeroing it out so that I'm not getting the weight of the beaker. So my thing is at 0. Okay, zero that out. Okay. All right, so the first thing we need is distilled water. So I am making 50 ounces for an event that I have. So I need 6.5 ounces of distilled water. Now, when you guys are making this for the first time, I highly recommend that you use small amounts, maybe like 100 or 200 grams, and start slow and start with a small amount. That way, if you make any mistakes, you're not, losing a lot of ingredients, wasting stuff, because sometimes you might get the hang of it. But if you follow closely, you should be good. But I always advise people to start off with small amounts. So I'm going to fill my beaker up to 6.5 ounces of distilled water. And I might have to grab another jug. Oh, maybe not. Yeah. Okay. All right. So 6.5 ounces of distilled water. And then I'm going to zero that back out. And then I need 2.5 ounces or 2.50 ounces of vegetable glycerin. Vegetable glycerin is really good for your skin. It's amazing. You don't never want to use too much in your formulations, but it's really, really good for your skin as far as hydrating and moisturizing. So I use this in a lot of my products. All right. Went a little bit over, but it's okay. All right. All right, so all right, so now we have our distilled water and our glycerin mix, and we're just going to stir that. And then we're going to set that to the side. Okay. So that is phase A. Okay. Phase B. Phase B is the mango butter, the stearic acid, the emulsifying wax, and the sunflower oil. So those items will go in this bowl. My scale is acting a little weird today. Okay, so let's grab the mango butter. And so it's 3% mango butter, and that is 1.50 for my formulation. I really wish I had a bigger scale so you guys can see, but I will absolutely make sure that these percentages are in the video. Okay, we are at 150. All right, so that is the raw mango butter. Okay, so the next thing that we will be adding is stearic acid. People hear stearic acid and they think the worst because of because of the word acid. And it's really not. It's literally an emulsifier, and it's really good for your skin. It gives a protective coat in the products that you use. and it's an excellent moisturizer. So don't be scared that you hear that word acid in there. Acid doesn't always mean bad. Okay. So for this, I need 1 ounce of stearic acid. So let's see. And what an emulsifier does is pretty much it brings together oil and water. So like, you know, oil and water normally doesn't mix. At some point it separates. Well, what things like this does, this and the emulsifying wax that we'll be using later, what it does is it helps those things bind together without, you know, separation. So, all right, that is 1 ounce. And then for the emulsifying wax, I need 1.50. Zero out my thing again. All right, so 1.50 for emulsifying wax. Okay, that's 120. Okay, that's 150. Okay, so now we have our mango butter, stearic acid, emulsifying wax, and now we need to add our sunflower oil. I always use organic sunflower oil. Okay, it's good for your skin and it's 100% pure. So okay, so I am adding 1.50 ounces of sunflower oil. That's 112. I like to use the top when I can because I have a habit of going over, and it's a little hard when you're mixing the ingredients as you go along. You are measuring as you go along because you kind of can't take out the ingredients once it's already mixed in. So that's why I'm using the top, because sometimes I'm a little heavy-handed. All right, that's 1.48. Just likes to inch along. All right, and that's 1.50. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is phase B needs to heat to 55 degrees Celsius or until melted, okay? So I'm going to show you guys. Where did I put my... So this is going to go onto the burner and let that melt down, and then we'll carry on to our next step. Okay, so I have that on the burner, on the double boiler. While that is heating up, we're going to start on to phase C. All right, so phase C is the SCI. This is what it looked like. This can come in powder or flakes. I like the powdered form a little bit better because it's easier to melt. For some reason, to me, and that's just my opinion. The flakes take a little bit longer to melt. So this is the SCI. When you hear that referred to, this is what we're talking about. Okay, and so phase C is the SCI and the Coco Betaine, which is also a surfactant. And that is this right here. I use this a lot, so I have a huge bottle of it. So, okay. What these two products do, one is a thickening agent. The Coco Betaine is a thickening agent, but it's also a cleansing agent, okay? So, even though we're making a scrub, we're making it foaming, so we want to add a cleansing agent to it, okay? All right, so for the Coco Betaine, we need 3 ounces. All right, let's see if we can do this. Okay, that's $2.99. 3. Okay. All right, so 3 ounces of the Coco Betaine, and then 3 ounces of the SCI. Okay, this is a powder, and it's very, very, very fine. So I strongly suggest, if you're using the powder form of the SCI, to wear a mask. Because you'll know it as soon as you open the bag. you'll hear it. I mean, you can feel the small particles coming out. Let me zero out my. There we go. All right, so I'm adding 3 ounces, right? Yep, of the SCI to this. Probably would be easier if I just set this down. Okay, so that is 3 ounces of the SCI. And now we are going to just mix this softly, gently, because you know it's a powder and it's a very fine powder. I'm sitting here talking without a mask on, so I kind of felt that those little particles of dust that I was talking about. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to just take this off to the boiler, and we're going to let this heat, because this melts down. We're going to let this heat down to 55 degrees Celsius with the same way we did the phase B, okay? And then we'll be back. Guys, I am so sorry. I thought my video was playing. So I took both phases off the stove. And now I am mixing the surfactant phase in with the oil phase. Okay. And what we want to do is we want to mix this until it becomes like a paste. Being careful not to cause too many bubbles and careful not to burn yourself while you're mixing. Okay, and then we're going to add in our water phase. Okay, let's move this out some. Okay, and now we are going to blend it real good together. Let me grab my blender. Okay, so now I have my blender, and we're just going to blend this together. Okay. Here we go. Okay. All right, so this is what we wanted. We wanted to be like a smooth, creamy texture. Okay, so the next phase of this would be phase D. So that would be the Mica, the Optiphen Plus, the fragrance, and the strawberry extract. Okay, so I am going to use, remember the ones that I showed you earlier, we did pink. Okay, but I think I'm going to choose a different, I'm going to use green just for that Christmas spirit. Okay, so I am going to use, and this is the Mica that I am using. I buy a whole box of these because I use them a lot. So if I can open it, I need to get something to get the Mica out. There we go. All right. And you really don't need a lot of Mica, depending on, you know, the size of the batch that you're making. Really need a smaller one. Just depends on the color that you want, how deep you want that color to be. I'm going to start off with that. that's going to be pretty. Okay, so you get your Mica and you mix it in, and you can add a little bit more if you want it to be darker, or you can add it less if you just want a tint, and you can make this color whatever color you want. This is when it's fun, you know, whatever way you want it to be, whatever color you want it to be. You can use different exfoliants. For this one, we're going to use sugar and cranberry seeds. You can use jojoba beads, you can use walnut shells, you can use, I mean, there's so many different exfoliants that you can use. You can Google it, and you can try so many different exfoliants and see what works for you, what colors and textures that you want for your scrub. I chose to use the sugar and the cranberry seeds for this one because it just brought it out, you know, because of Christmas. So okay, so next thing that we're going to add is the Optiphen Plus. This is a preservative. I get this from Formulation Sample Shop. What this does is any formulation that you make, that you add water into it, you always want to use some type of preservative. That's to keep, you know, bacteria from forming. You know, bacteria can come from anywhere. You don't know what people's bathrooms look like. If you're selling this, people tend to leave the top off for a while and then put it back on and forget, and so forth and so on. So this protects you and this protects your customer, okay? All right, so I'm going to put this back on my scale. And I am going to measure out, what was my amount? 0.25. Oh, that says unstable. Okay, so 0.25. Okay. Okay, and then we want to add our fragrance and our strawberry extract. And I need to remember what fragrance do I want. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, I'm back, guys. All right, so I decided to go with peppermint. And I don't know why I'm getting peppermint when I see this color, so I'm going to go ahead and try that. That's the beauty of creating your own skincare products. You can go ahead and do with it as you want. You know what I mean? Okay, so my fragrance, I'm at 0.5. Okay. Since we're using peppermint, I'm going to do 0.30. Just because I know peppermint has a little bit of a stronger smell and stronger scent. So, okay. So we have the peppermint there. And now we're going to use the strawberry extract. And that is at 1 ounce. I had exactly enough for 1 ounce. Perfect. Okay. And now we are going to mix these ingredients together. And then I am going to what I'm going to do is I'm going to reblend it again, just so I can make sure all ingredients is incorporated all the way through the recipe. As you can see, I don't like the waste product. Okay, so I'm getting my blender out again. It smells really good. Okay. Okay. So now we have added all our phases together. We have added phase D, which is the Mica, the Optiphen Plus, the fragrance, and the strawberry extract. Okay. So the next step would be to add the cranberry seeds. Okay. And that's 2% of the recipe, so I need 1 ounce of cranberry seeds in my formulation. $99, come on. There we go. All right. So we have 1 ounce of cranberry seeds, and then I am going to just mix this real quick. Okay, so we got that all mixed in. Okay, and then the next part of this is adding the sugar. All right, so sugar is 53.5% of this recipe, so that makes up a lot of the recipe. So I'm just going to grab my sugar over here. So this calls for 26.75 ounces of the sugar. So what I usually do is do half of that first, mix it, and then do the other half, just so I can see where I'm at, and get everything mixed in there. You won't wind up with a bunch of clumps of sugar, you know, and whatnot, okay? So we're going to start with 10 ounces, or maybe 12 ounces of sugar. And again, strongly suggest when you're making this yourself for the first time, that you start out with maybe a jar, maybe 8 ounces, you know, so that you can get used to making it. It's a very simple recipe. It's, you know, it's not hard to make at all. But okay, so that is 12 ounces, and then I'm going to stir. Just like to see where I'm at as I go along. And remember, I mean, we're definitely going to get a thicker consistency than this. This is half of the sugar. But remember, whenever you're formulating, the consistency that you have when you're done making a product will probably not be the same consistency that it will be ultimately. I usually wait 24 hours before I package my products, and because you need to leave time for settling and all of that. So I strongly suggest, you know, if you're packaging it for parties, events, for your customers, whatever the case may be, you know, make your product, sit it to the side, cover it up, and then the next day do your packaging. That way you can see clearly how many ounces goes into your packaging, because I have done that, you know, just rushing, and I you know, make my formulation and go to package it, put it in a jar, seal it up, everything, sit it down on the desk, and the next day I had to unseal everything and add more product in there because it settles, you know. So when it finally settles down, you know, your product is no longer to the top of the jar, you know. So that's just a little note that I learned from doing this over the years. All right, so we were getting to $26.75. We are at $16.97. We are at $22.26. $24.65. $26.36. There we go. All right, so let's mix this. See now how it's getting a little thicker. This smells so good. Like, I'm smelling a mix of the strawberry extract and the peppermint together. Oh my God, it really smells so good. You guys just witnessed me make this is a completely new one for me and for my store. So you get to witness me making it for the first time. But wish we was live, because I would ask you guys, what do you think I should name it? Okay. So this is a good consistency. And I know I'm going to blend this still, just because, just to make sure we don't want like sugar clumps and stuff like that. But look at that. That looks so good. So I'm going to blend this one more time just to make sure that I have no sugar clumps in there. And y'all see me do this a lot because I don't like to waste product. I really don't. I don't know if you are one that already formulate and make skincare products, you know how important every little bit is and how much these ingredients cost. So I look at every little bit. I get as much as I can off these spoons. I don't be playing. All right, so I'm going to grab my blender. And I have a, huge mixing stand. But for like formulations like this, I like to use my little hand one. Because it's not like it's something that has to sit on there for a long time. So I like my little handheld one. Mix that around real quick. And there you have it. This recipe is finished and it is ready to go in stockings, on shelves, packaged, whatever you want to do in the bathroom. This is the perfect everything, This is like one of our favorite scrubs. I changed the scent and the color. But this flies off the shelves, Every time I bring it back out for the holiday season, it is always a top seller. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. So as I said, I'm going to let this sit and overnight. And this is our finished product. It is so beautiful. I love it. So I want to thank you guys for spending this time with me, watching me make this product, purchasing my bundle. I will have so many more of these coming up. Tomorrow, when I actually package this, you'll see I'll have videos of the finished product once it's in the jars and it's all sealed up and pretty looking. But yeah. If you would like, leave me a review on the website. Let me know how you like it. And if you have any questions, I did leave my email inside of there. You can always contact me, and my phone number is always available. And, don't forget to follow me on social media, Facebook and Instagram. You can always contact me there as well. My name is Christina. I am the owner of Pleiades Pure and Natural Skincare. And I thank you so much. And I want to wish you all a happy holiday. Thank you so much.